From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Evening Edition.
Good evening, I'm Brian Hackney. We are live from the CBS studios in San Francisco at 5 o'clock, and we begin tonight with more unrest over federal intervention here in the Bay Area. Earlier this week, President Trump suggested sending troops to San Francisco, increasing the presence of ICE operations across the Bay Area. That notion was met with serious pushback from business leaders, city officials, and mass protesters, leading the administration to back down from the idea, but not without incident, as our cameras caught shots fired into a U-Haul truck at Coast Guard Island in Alameda on Thursday. But in Sonoma County, where the local economy relies on immigrant labor very heavily, activists insist that the local response has not been good enough. Lynn reports.
The wine industry relies heavily on the immigrant community. Threats of stepped up ICE activity in San Francisco create a fear for immigrants all around the Bay Area, including here in Sonoma County. Advocates say local officials should have done more to ease their concerns.
Our sheriff is betraying our community. He is lying.
There's only one thing that's happening here. It's white supremacy.
Strong accusations aimed at Sonoma County elected leaders. The Sonoma County Sanctuary Coalition held a press conference on Saturday, saying top officials failed to show support for the immigrant community.
If they were coming for white kids, if they were terrorizing white kids, they wouldn't be doing this. This would be a crisis. They don't care about brown and black people in this county. It's clear.
Nathan Kempthorne and his wife Esther say because of her skin color and Spanish accent, their family often carries passports when they leave the house.
I feel a target on my back. So I feel like I needed to have something else to prove that I am here, I'm a U.S. citizen.
The family and other immigrant advocates say Sonoma County leaders should have held a news conference like other Bay Area counties to show how they're protecting immigrant workers.
They need to say more. I want to see that press conference. I want to see them say, we have the back of our people here.
Supporters of county leaders push back, saying the threat was aimed at San Francisco, not Sonoma County, and they didn't want to poke the bear and draw ICE attention.
We are taking this threat very seriously, even though Santa Rosa and Sonoma County were not called out in this most recent deployment. We totally understand the threat to our immigrant community, and we want to be very clear that we stand with them.
Supervisor Linda Hopkins says the county has been working to support immigrant families and to prepare for any future ICE action. But activists say those are empty words, claiming supervisors refused to pass a non-collaboration ordinance that would ban law enforcement from working with ICE.
We do not, as the Sonoma County Board of the Supervisors, actually have the authority to direct the policies of the sheriff's office. So we cannot actually pass a sanctuary ordinance that tells the Sonoma County Sheriff what to do. Instead, what we have done is we actually passed a resolution directing our departments, so departments that are not represented by an elected official like the sheriff, to safeguard information to the extent that we can.
The sheriff's office is facing accusations that it works with ICE, but the department maintains it does not collaborate with immigration agents. Despite the lack of support they feel from local leaders, advocates like the Kempthorne say they will continue to fight Trump policies.
It's not going to be easy, but we're not gonna stop.
The Sonoma County Sanctuary Coalition will hold a rally on Thursday afternoon at the county jail. They want to continue to pressure the sheriff to adopt a policy of no contact with ICE.
You can add Gavin Newsom's name to the list of the discontented. He is upset that the Justice Department will send election monitors to California. The announcement came yesterday as many counties in the state began early in-person voting. Election observers are nothing out of the ordinary, but Newsom says it's a scare tactic.
This is about voter intimidation. This is about voter suppression, period, full stop. And it's a pattern, isn't it? It's consistent with what they've done with the federalization of the National Guard and the intimidation and the chill that's created. They'll do that right around Election Day as well.
We spoke with political commentator Caroline Heldman about her take on the development.
We don't know yet whether the DOJ monitoring means that they will actually have people at the polls, because I haven't provided those details. But I will say that would be a pretty big concern given the counties that they've chosen. The three in Southern California, Riverside, Orange, and LA County, are heavily Latino populations. And given the presence of ICE, I could see that, just other federal officials being at the polls having a chilling effect.
Meantime, the government shutdown is now in day 25 with no resolution in sight. CalFresh, which provides low-income households with groceries, now tells us that benefits in November will be delayed because of the shutdown. Congressman Sam Liccardo was in Mountain View today to talk about the impact.
So we are calling on the president to use the reserve that Congress has designated for emergencies and shutdowns just like this one, that could enable SNAP benefits to continue through this next month and could enable hundreds of thousands of people here in the Bay Area to get the CalFresh benefits they need.
He says the ongoing shutdown is threatening about 170,000 people in both Santa Clara and San Mateo counties. Still, several institutions affected by the shutdown are receiving financial support outside from other donors. The president spoke earlier about an anonymous $130 million donation to the military that will help pay a small portion of troops' salaries during the layoff.
Great gentleman. He's a great patriot. He's obviously a very substantial man. And he contributed $130 million toward the military in order to make up any difference. So he wanted to see the military get paid. So did I.
Don't know who he is, by the way, wanted to remain anonymous. In Marin, Muir Woods will reopen, at least temporarily, after several companies came together to make a donation. And that donation provides salaries for 20 staff members plus power and water costs. Entry to the park is free during the period, which will allow Muir Woods to be open through the end of the month, but it won't allow it to be dry, at least not tomorrow. Darren?
And we got some more rain coming in, Brian. So let's start out first by taking a look at how this system is set up over California and its ability to want to continue to deliver some rain for us. We'll see a few light showers that are going to pop up tomorrow. So let's just come in for a close-up look at that. And I want you to see how the rain's going to play for the remainder of our Sunday. There's your line of showers. Look at the timestamp. So this gets us through Sunday morning when we'll see the rain return. That's kind of the big view. So you can see how we're going to have a pretty well put together cold front that will sweep across the entire bay. If we want to just get a slightly better look at that, I'm going to play it again. Keep your eye on the timestamp. This is 7 a.m. tomorrow, 8, 9 a.m. going right through the North Bay. Gets down to the Golden Gate around noon. Not a lot, but it's organized. It's going to hold together, and then we can march that line of rain south by the time we get into the afternoon. I'm going to play that again coming up in the full forecast. We'll put some rainfall numbers in there. Get you ready to plan for your Sunday. Then we got to look ahead. We're going right back to late summer next week. I'll show you what that looks like in a few minutes. For now, guys, back to you.
All righty, Darren, thanks very much. Coming up, Kamala Harris weighing another run at the presidency in 2028. We'll tell you what she said and what voters think when we come back. And welcome back. A prestigious school in D.C. could soon be adding another campus here in Oakland. Mayor Barbara Lee is in talks with Howard University to expand its presence in California, especially in the East Bay. Lee has ties to the historically black college, having received an honorary degree from Howard back in May. Another famous alum, former Vice President Kamala Harris. In an interview with the BBC, she said she is not ruling out another run in 2028.
You write very powerfully about the differences that many women have made to your life, whether that was your meeting with Angela Merkel or the experience of growing up with your extraordinary mother or the stories of your baby nieces, Amara and Leela. When are they going to see a woman in charge in the White House?
In their lifetime, for sure.
Could it be you? Possibly.
New polling from CBS suggests voters are not so optimistic. Nearly 70% of voters say Harris should not run for president again. More than half of them, Democrats, feel the same way.
All right, Brian, we got to start this 7-day forecast. We've got to talk about the rain for sure, but the first thing I want you to see is this 7-day forecast. You're going to get some light rain on Sunday. We're going to talk about that in a second. But I want you to see this. Look what's coming next week. And it may not be just a matter of next week being like that. We look long range in the forecast, and we might be going into a relatively warm and dry first start of November for a while. So if that's your thing, you got great news. More on the warm and sunny coming up in a bit. For right now, let's get you ready for this Sunday rain. We'll come back to the 70 again because I'll show you how this is going to play out in terms of all of our microclimates. Let's time out tomorrow's rain. It is Sunday after all tomorrow, and you're going to get a little bit of rain on it. We're going to take this from early morning all the way through noon. We're going to start up here, and we're going to start the futurecast. You'll see the timestamp on the bottom right corner of your screen. Plan on the rain to return tomorrow morning after sunrise in the North Bay. It'll get down to the Golden Gate right around noon. It'll weaken as it moves south, and by the time we get to like 4 in the afternoon, it's effectively done. So the rain tomorrow is a little bit different than today's rain because it's coming in a little later. Today, most of the rain that fell in the North Bay before the sun even came up. Here's another playthrough on this. Tomorrow's different because the rain starts in the North Bay after sunrise, gets down to the Golden Gate at noon. That means middle of the day when some of the more noticeable rain moves over the greater population center, and then it will be done. It's going to clear the South Bay by the time we get to like 4 in the afternoon tomorrow. How much might you get from this? Very similar to today. Let's start out in the south. Salinas, maybe you get about 1/100 of an inch of rain tomorrow. Santa Cruz maybe gets about 1/10 of an inch of rain or more. Tri-Valley might not get much. San Jose might not get a whole lot either. And when you take a look up north, you can see what the numbers will look like once you get up towards, say, like the North Bay, and you can see those numbers again on there. You'll probably get about 1/2 an inch of rain falling for the North Bay Mountains, and that should be about it. All right, how's it going to feel tomorrow? Let's get some numbers on here. Cloudy, bit damp, relatively cool. These are your numbers generally for the Bay. You can see Santa Clara Valley. We might make it to 70 in San Jose. Most other places will be mid to upper 60s. Let's check out the numbers down south. We'll get into Monterey Bay and see what your numbers look like. The story is very similar down here. Not a whole lot of difference. And then remember, when we get to Monday, we're really going to start warming up. It's going to be sunny. And we've just got to take one moment here to draw your attention to a bigger picture story that's going to make headlines this week. Here, this is our storm up here in the Gulf of Alaska. We got to take a bit of a walk. If you haven't heard this yet, now it is technically a hurricane. That is Melissa. And there's been a lot of unknowns about this over the last several days. In fact, we can pull it out here by taking a look at the infrared imagery. We get down here towards Jamaica, sits right on the leading edge of that, and it does look likely that by Tuesday, Melissa is going to make a direct hit there, and it could be a lot of rain in mountainous territory and quite problematic on many fronts for that island. So we'll keep you updated on that as we get closer to it. That's just one little early heads up on what will likely be a big story this week. Could be a major hurricane there. Doesn't look like it makes landfall at all in the U.S., by the way. All right, there's the 7-day forecast for the Bay. Few chances for showers tomorrow, and then look at next week. San Francisco is going to be in the low to mid 70s. Once we hit Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, it is sunny and warm and late summer all over again. See you with more on this coming up in the 6 o'clock.
Developing news tonight. 2 suspects have been arrested in the murder of Mark Calcagni, who was the manager at the Condor Club in San Francisco. 43-year-old Richard Lund and 25-year-old Asia Morton were both former employees of the adult entertainment venue. Detectives say on October 3rd, Lund waited for the manager to return home and fatally shot him, while Morton, who was in a romantic relationship with Lund, helped plan the attack. Lund was arrested at home. Morton was apprehended at SFO. After arriving back from travel abroad, police are still searching for a motive. Finally tonight, as Halloween approaches, we're learning all about things that go bump in the night here in the Bay Area. Itai Hod fills us in.
To mere mortals, her name is Kitty Nazaro. But around here, she's simply known as the vampiress of San Francisco. When were you bitten?
1897.
She claims it was none other than Count Dracula himself who did it.
That was the night that my life came to an end, but not my existence.
Ever since, she's been on a mission to feed our curiosity.
This is the site of the most brutal battle between mortals and vampires.
For 20 years now, she's led her vampire tours, where history has a habit of coming back from the dead.
Alcatraz is by far the most haunted spot in the entire city.
She doesn't drink blood, she spills the tea.
They think if they wear garlic around a vampire, they're going to be protected. It's a spice.
Mark Kaufman, noted celebrity sommelier, said her tours were the perfect pairing for his label, Vampire Wines.
We're on her website, she's on our website.
So, how long have you been dead?
From AMC's Interview with a Vampire series, based on Anne Rice's classic, to FX's What We Do in the Shadows, to this year's blockbuster Sinners, our obsession with the undead has never been more alive.
So San Francisco really is a vampire city?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dr. Robin Werner, who teaches vampire literature at the University of New Orleans, says that while the Big Easy remains the vampire capital of the U.S., San Francisco might just be their summer getaway.
You've got the fog, you've got the ambiance.
For the vampires of San Francisco, it's been the perfect way to make a living.
Everybody loves to get scared.
A grave reminder that while we humans may never achieve immortality,
We don't exactly make a quiet entrance.
time spent hanging out with vampires is never in vain.
There's also Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Two versions. I'll take the Kevin McCarthy version. So, yes,
All right.
there is something of a preoccupation.
Really?
Oh, it was set in the Bay Area.
Okay.
Check it out. That's it for, well, that was the Donald Sutherland version. We'll see you back here at 6. CBS Weekend News is next. For now,
Good night.